Hello everyone, in this video, part 5 of our Enumerations series, we're going to show you how you can build a select case using an enumeration. And you do this essentially in the same way that you would build a select case for a long integer type. We're going to have a few little, how can we put it, efficiency tools that we're going to use in here. I'm going to use MZ tools to build the select case and to build a message box. So it'll be a lot faster than just doing it manually. And let's just get on and do some coding. As usual, we'll use the Alt and F11 shortcut keys to open up the Visual Basic Editor. And we can see I've already built the high-level structure of what we're going to use. We've got a module here on the left for select case enums, and we've got a module for for a test harness where we can run a few example cases through a subroutine and see what happens. Let's go back to our main module. At the top here we can see we've built an enumeration for a Ford car, which lists 3 types of Ford car. We've got the KA, the Fiesta and the Puma. And as per the earlier videos, we've also defined a first and last element in our enumeration, which are hidden. Next, we have a function which checks whether a given Ford car or a given long integer type is actually a valid Ford car. Here we have our main routine that we're going to be working on. It's called the make noise subroutine, and it accepts a car type as an input, which actually means it just expects a long integer type as an input. The first thing we need to do is to check that this car type is actually a valid Ford car. That's what this block of code here is doing. Very straightforward, and all we do if it's not a valid type of car is to inform the user and then exit the subroutine. So it's not a full, it's not a full-blown error handling setup. It's just a very basic, if something's wrong, tell the user and get out of there. And this is where we're going to put in our code here, just at the bottom. What we're going to do is build a string for the noise. I'm going to build it using a select case. So let's first of all define our string. We'll say dim noise message as string. The next thing we're going to do is type one line of code. We're going to say select case. And our input type, or our variable that we're going to use, is the car type, which was the input line of code. Next, once the cursor is on this line, I'm going to go up to the MZ Tools toolbar at the top. I'm going to click on the Select Cases system for Enums, and this will bring up a pop-up box which allows us to select the various elements in the enumeration that this element belongs to. So the car type belongs to the Ford car enumeration. And we can see it's listed all of the elements here. We don't want the first and the last elements in here. We just want the 3 types of car that we've defined. We want to use the full names, and this here is a preview of what we're going to see. So it includes the else clause, which is what we always want in a select case. And if we just click on OK, that has built the remaining structure of our select case for us. Nice and quick, nice and easy. Now it might seem a little trivial to be using this with an enumeration that only has 3 car types in it. But you can imagine if you've got an enumeration with lots and lots of different elements, for example, an enumeration for the months of the year, you're going to have 12 lines of code plus an else statement that you're going to have to type out. Here you can do that in just a few button clicks. So it does speed things up, and it also makes sure that you're not going to miss anything while you are building your code. So let's actually type in some code to build this message. Here we'll say noise message equals you have a Ford KA. We'll put in a carriage return. On the next line we'll say another one, and our actual message is beep. Excellent. And we're just going to copy that. Put in the Ford Fiesta, the Ford Puma, and instead of let's call this a Fiesta here. spell it right. Let's say the Fiesta is going to make a noise of toot, and the Puma is going to do something else. It's going to go vroom. Excellent. So that's us. We've built our select case now. Very straightforward. What we're going to do now that we've built that message, we're going to use the MZ Tools message box assistant to build a message box where we display to the user the noise that their car is making. Now, a message box is not really complicated to build. The main thing I find is that I always forget the various options and the various things, the ordering of the inputs, etc., etc., in order to build the type of message box that I want to build with the correct icon and with the correct buttons. Now, the MZ Tools message box assistant just gets around that. I don't have to ask myself, oh, how do I do that? And then quickly look it up on the internet for an example. I just have to go up here, click on the message box assistant, and it gives me all of the options I need right here. Nice and easy. The title we want to use is making a car noise, and the text we want to include here, let's just say noise message. Now this will put it in double quotations as if it's a string, so we'll have to take them off in a little minute. But you can see at the bottom we've got all of the different buttons that we can select, and if we select some of them, you can also select which one is the default, so which one is selected by default, and you can use a tab key to cycle through the buttons. Right now we just want this OK button, very simple, and the icon that we're going to want is going to be the information icon, so let's just click on that one. We're not going to worry about any of these options here, and we're just going to say insert. There you go. The last thing we just want to do is get rid of the quotation marks there, and that's built our message box for us. Now that we've actually built our code, let's go to our test harness, our test make noise, and actually run this to see what happens. We'll just click on play from the toolbar, and we can see here it says you have a Ford Fiesta, toot, then you have a Ford Puma, vroom, and it's also put an invalid car type through. The car type you've selected is not valid car type, and we'll just click on OK, and that's it. It's just run through 3 examples to show us how it works.